Beer Lake is back in Huntsville following a massive rainfall over the Easter long weekend. And over the course of the weekend, Muskoka River continued to rise, leading to flooding, culvert failures, and various road closures.
What's unusual this year and what's causing all this is the amount of snowpack that is still melting and flooding the system. So the numbers really haven't come down too much.
It's risen quite a bit. I put a brick on the ground just in front of us, and you can actually see the water in since we started talking, has actually gone up.
We think that the water levels are going to be greater than 2013. So if you had water in 2013, you're going to see water this year. That's what we're thinking right now. And if you've got anything that you need to secure on your property or tie down or anything like that, you need to take the precautions.
The bad news is there's no capacity left in the lakes or the river, no room for it to go, but right into the system, and everything gets that much higher and flows that much faster. So those areas that are flooded right now are going to be that way for several days, we think. And we could see some new areas ultimately start tomorrow.
The province is 100% behind them. We'll spare no resources to support the affected areas.
The military has arrived to assist in sandbagging for residents affected by flooding in Bracebridge. But before the troops rolled in on Sunday, community residents quickly came together to form a support network of volunteers that were busily filling and tying bags at the Fowler's construction yard on Rosewarne.
Fortunately, my home is not in threat of this flood, but I know many are, and I just feel really badly for them. So I just want to be here to help.
So it's raining, which is not a great thing.
Up to 40 millimeters was forecast to fall by Environment Canada today, and Smith says no matter how much falls, it will likely cause issues with the recession of the flood water.
It's safe to say that areas that are currently experiencing flooding will not see water levels start to recede until the water works its way out of the watershed, and this is obviously going to delay that, and again, in some places, may marginally increase it.
This is exclusive footage of a rescue that took place earlier this afternoon in the Fraserburg area of Bracebridge. Our Samantha Johnson was invited by the military to document the operation.
We're standing here on Beaumont Farm Road, just towards the end of the causeway here, where the river meets the lake, Muskoka River and the Muskoka Lake. We're in really one of the most heavily affected areas, so we're seeing some of the most intense flooding right here on Beaumont Farm Road. We've been all week with the soldiers filling, collecting, delivering and stacking sandbags, and we're now just shoring up walls, checking on people, making sure they're okay and that they're still prepared to live out in what potentially might be a couple more days of rain, and hopefully we're looking more towards a continually, gradually decreasing water level in the area.
On Friday, Premier Ford addressed the flooding in Muskoka by announcing his plan to put together a task force responsible for reviewing the current watershed management plan, which many local officials have criticized as out of date.
You know, the system hasn't been changed, and I believe in continuous improvement and always coming up with better ideas. The Mayor Harding came up with some great ideas in our meeting today, and we're going to sit down with a group and see how we can, and a group of stakeholders, how we can come up with better ways of controlling the water system, because we can't be facing this. You know, they say it's every 100 years. It doesn't seem like every 100 years. It seems like it's been happening constantly.
So as of this morning, we removed the emergency declaration. There's no longer a threat to public safety, and any technical reasons that we might have had to extend it are now expired too.
And I know this community went through difficult times in 2013 with the floods then. This year, of course, much worse. And unfortunately, we know there are going to be continued more extreme weather events in the coming years. So the strength and the commitment that you all showed in stepping up to respond to this, the learnings that happen, and the ability to respond ever better to challenges is really a demonstration of the resilience of this community.
We were, I think, at a point after about a week, Mr. Prime Minister, when our volunteer base was working so hard and just going at it as really strongly as they could, and we needed a little bit of help, and we were so pleased that the Canadian military could come to Bracebridge and assist us, and it really made all the difference in keeping people and property safe.